In this video, we will learn about input statement. Input statement makes the program user-friendly. If we use let statement, then let statement works only for a particular value that has been assigned in the program. But you cannot change the value during the execution of the program. But input statement lets the user to input the values at the time of execution as per the requirement of the user. But let statement is fixed by the programmer in the program. It cannot be changed by the user while execution of the program. So for that, we'll write a program and see. Let a equal to 10, let b equal to 20. A is a variable, 10 is a constant, the value 10 is stored in A. Then let b equal to 20, value 20 is stored in B. Now we'll add these two numbers. Let S equal to A plus B. That means A represents value 10, B represents value 20. If I write A plus B, then it will mean 10 plus 20. And the result will be stored in another variable named S. Now to display the sum, we'll print the variable S using print statement. And we can end it here. So here you can see this is the program window. Here only I have assigned the values to the variables. So this cannot be changed during the execution of the program because it is fixed by the programmer. I am writing the program, so I am the programmer, and if a user executes this program, then he will not be able to enter any value for A and B because I have already set the values. If I run the program, it will be shown on the output screen. The value will be 30, but can we enter any number here? Can we input during the execution? No, because I have used let statement. With the use of input statement, we can enter any data. We can input any data to a numeric variable or an alphanumeric variable at the time of execution. In other words, we can make our program user-friendly. That means user can interact with the program to provide the inputs at the time of execution and get the output based on their desired input. So for that, we have to remove this let. And instead of let, we have to write input. But there will be no assignment because let is used to assign values to variable, but input will not assign any values. It will just take the variable name. Similarly, here also input B, after that there will be no equal to, no assigning of values, because it is going to take the input from the user during runtime or at the time of execution. For that reason, we cannot assign any values to these variables by using input. We have to take it from the user at the execution time. Other than that, all other things will be the same. only input A and B. The type of user input I have changed from let to input. Other than that, the process is same, the output is same. Now if I run the program, for each input statement there will be a question mark displayed. That means one question mark means it is asking the value for first input statement, that is for A, the variable associated with first input statement. So if I give the value here, it will this value will be stored in A because A is the first variable with the first input statement. Now you have to press enter. Another question mark appears. This question mark is due to the second input statement, and whatever value I will give here, that will get stored in B. Now if I press enter, it will process the output and display it. That means 10 plus 20 will be calculated and stored in another variable S, and that will be printed in the next line. Due to this print S, it is printing 30 here. Now you can see that if I run the program, it is not asking you what you have to input, only question mark. The user who is going to give the input, he will not be able to understand for what I am providing the value. So for that reason, it is very essential to use messages with the input statement so that the person who wants to give the input may know for what value, for what purpose he is giving the input value. QBasic allows us to write messages along with the input statement to make the program more understandable to the user. These messages are written just after the input and within double quotes. As message is an alphanumeric text, so they should be always placed within double quotes. Just like if we want to print a message on screen, we put it under double quotes after the print statement. Similarly, we have to place a text message within double quotes with input also. As we are printing variable in the print statement, so double quotes is not required, because while printing any variable we don't use double quotes. If we are printing any text message, then only we use double quotes. So after input I want to display a message that enter first number. So now it is understandable to the user that what I am going to give. That means I have to give a number. After that, we have to put a semicolon. After the semicolon, we have to give the variable name in which our value will get stored. So with input, this message will be printed, enter first number, and whatever value will give with respect to this input statement, that value will get stored in the variable A, and to separate them a semicolon sign is used. This is the syntax of input statement using numeric variables and messages. We are here using message also with the input statement and a numeric variable also with the input statement. Similarly, we will write the same thing with second statement. So we have typed here enter second number, then semicolon B. That means when the second input will be executed. Whatever value we will give for the second number, that will be get stored in B. Now if I execute it, here you can see the message is displayed properly so that the user can understand for what purpose he is giving the value. He is giving the value for first number. So enter first number is for due to these double quotes. Then after that, due to the input, it is giving a question mark. Question mark will always be available as we have used the input statement. After the double quotes, enter first number, that will be displayed, and whatever value will be giving, that will be stored in variable A. I give 10 here. If I press enter, then after the second input, enter second number is written, so that text will be displayed, then question mark, and whatever value we will give here, that will be stored in B, that is 20. Now if I execute it, 30 will be printed. Now if you want to write a message with the print statement, for that also the same format, within double quotes you have to print the message. Within double quotes the message will be sum, as we are doing the sum equal to, that should be placed in double quotes. Whatever thing we will mention within double quotes, that will get printed on the output screen. Similar to input only, after the double quotes you have to give a semicolon or comma also you can give. As the sum of A and B is stored in S, so if we print S, then whatever is stored in S, that will get printed on the screen. Suppose both the numbers I give 11, the sum will be 11 plus 11, 22. In the print statement also we have used a message, so it is displaying the message sum equal to, and 11 is stored in S, so if we print the variable S, the content of the variable S, that is 22, will be displayed on the screen. Now we have done only with input statement with numeric variable. We will do input statement with numeric variable also, along with it alphanumeric variable also, and with messages. So suppose I want to take the name, class and roll number of a student from the execution time, at the execution time, and I want to print it. For that, CLS we can give to clear the screen. Then input, you have to take the name from the user, enter the name. As name should be alphanumeric type of value, so it should be stored in an alphanumeric type of variable, and alphanumeric variable always ends with a dollar sign. So suppose I have taken one variable n, and as it is alphanumeric, so it will be n dollar. Now in the next line we take another variable for inputting the class. Now class can be in Roman number also, in normal number also, like class 6 can be written as VI or normally 6. So that depends on the programmer what he is using. If I want to take Roman numbers, so I have to use alphanumeric variable. I can use $C for that. If I want to take the class in form of number like class 6, then I can use the numeric variable only C. If I want to take it in Roman variable like VI, then we have to take it $C. So that depends on the programmer. Now I want to take the roll number. Now roll number should always be number, so we have to take a numeric variable. I have taken the variable R. We should always use those type of variable names that can represent the input properly. Suppose R for roll number, C for class, N for name. So there should be a matching, something should be matching so that the variable name is understandable. I have taken 3 lines for taking 3 single inputs. Now I will display them using the print statement. Using the print statement, we can display these 3 inputs in 3 different lines, or in the same line we can display them by using the comma between them. So $N, comma $C, comma R. Like this also we can write. But if we want to place text for that, then it is better to print in different lines. Name is stored in $N, so put the name, write NAME name, then within double quotes so that it displays what is the name, and whatever name is given by the user, it will get displayed in $N. Now if you execute it, first line it will execute, enter the name you have input, then press enter. Then second input it will execute, it will ask for the class. As you have taken alphanumeric type of class, so you can write VI, enter the roll number. Roll number you can give in number. Then after pressing the enter, it will start printing the details serially. First will be name, then class, then roll. According to the program, from top to bottom, the program gets executed line by line. So accordingly, it will get executed on the output screen. Now again, if I execute the program, it will ask from the beginning. So you have to maintain the proper sequence of the variables. Now this program is written by writing the input statement 3 times, but this all 3 inputs can be taken using one input also, just like print. Just like in print statement, all the 3 things can be printed in the same line using comma. In input also the same thing can be done. Only you have to write comma. In the one input only I am doing it. Enter the name, comma class, comma roll. But one thing is that the sequence of the variables should match with the name, class and role. As I have asked the name first, so I will put the $n first, then separated by comma. Class is second, so $C will be second in the sequence. Then role is third, I have put, so the variable R should be in third in the sequence of variables. So this order should be maintained according to the text, and this order should also be maintained while giving the input during execution time. Now you can see in one line it is asking name, class and role. So first is Amit. Accordingly you have to give the values separated by commas. If you don't give commas and just press enter key, then it cannot take the values for class and role, and it will print only the name because it has taken the name, and after that all other things will be blank. Class is text, so it will print blank. Roll number we have not given anything, so by default it is taking 0. So all the variables should be given and in proper order. Now again, if I type them separated by commas, as I have given it in proper order, name, comma, class, comma, role, here also the values I have given properly as per the order, proper sequence. So it has taken the values properly. In name variable, in $n it has taken Amit, in $C it has taken VI6, and in roll number R it has taken 6. So accordingly it has printed the variables. Now if the sequence is not matching, suppose Amit you have given, okay, but class, in place of class you have given the roll number. Roll number suppose 7 you have given, and in place of role you have given VI. So it will not take the values because role is in number type of value and you are wanting to give an alphanumeric type of value, so it will create an error. Once more I am telling, in place of name if you give 6, if you give the name as 6, class as 7, role as 8, see there is a type mismatch. $n cannot take 6, $C cannot take 7, R can take 8, roll number can be 8. So this will create an error named redo from start in the DOS version of QBasic. But as this is new version, this is a QBasic simulator QB64, so in this it is something different. It will take the values, all values whatever you give, it will take it, but the alphanumeric variables will treat this 6 as a alphanumeric 6. $C will take 7 as alphanumeric 7, and R will take it as normal number 8. So R is okay, but $n and $C will treat 6 and 7 as alphanumeric values, not numbers. So here they will not display any error, redo from start, but your program will become faulty. So that you have to keep in mind the two things: the type of data to be entered, that is numeric or alphanumeric, according to the order given in the program. In that order only you have to give the input in the execution time, and the number of data values to be entered. Suppose there are 3 data items here: name, class and role. So you have also to enter the 3 items. If you give 2 items, 1 item will get missed, and so your result will again become faulty. So these two things must be kept in mind while using the input in a single line.